I raised this in my O1 home. 6 months ago, he fit in my palm. Now he's the size of a truck, and I'm not sure he was ever meant to live beside a human. It all started with a normal fishing trip. I just wanted to catch a fish, but instead, I pulled out a creature that changed everything. And I saw it, el gran maja, the most dangerous sea monster in human history. A creature that legends describe as being as long as 12 ships. In my palm, it was the size of a walnut. 5 tiny blue eyes looked up at me, and then it sneezed right into my nose. That was the beginning of everything. I brought it home. I don't know why. I just brought it home. I put it in a bowl of water and just watched it. It was looking at me too. All 5 eyes right at me. I didn't know which of the 2 of us was in more danger. First feeding, I crumbled some fish for it, into small pieces, carefully. It swam up, sniffed, took a bite, chewed. It looked at me, took another piece. At that moment, it behaved like the most normal creature in the world. I thought it would always be like that. I was very naive. The first night, I placed the bowl next to the bed and turned off the light. In the darkness, 5 tiny blue dots glowed like a nightlight. Creepy? A little. But honestly, cozy. I looked at it. It looked at me. We both stayed awake. We found common ground. In the morning, I opened my eyes, and it was already looking at me. It was sitting on the edge of the bowl, waiting. It remembered my face. It recognized me. That was the first time I didn't feel afraid, but warm. A tiny sea monster was waiting for me to wake up. That meant something. Every morning, I measured it and wrote it down in a notebook. Day 1, 4 centimeters. Day 3, 9. Day 5, almost 20. By day 7, it no longer fit in the bowl. Into the first week, time to expand. I bought a 200-liter aquarium. Huge. It felt like it would last a long time. Maja swam inside and began exploring every corner slowly, like it owned the place, as if it was taking ownership of the place. I should have been worried then. 3 days. Just 3 days, and it was already touching all the walls at once. It looked at me as if asking, so what now? I didn't know what to say. 200 liters, 3 days, great investment. The next step was obvious. I cleared all my things out of the bathroom. Shampoo, towels, everything. I filled it with salt water. Maja moved in. By then, it was already the size of a dog. A big, heavy dog with needles instead of teeth. It went into the tub, lay down, closed its eyes, satisfied. And I went to shower in the kitchen. New reality, personal hygiene in the kitchen. Every morning, I went into the bathroom just to say good morning to it. And every morning, it would happily pop up and splash me from head to toe. 7 in the morning. Soaked. Toothbrush in hand. It became a ritual. I got used to it. We started playing. I would dip my hand into the water. It would nudge it with its nose. I moved my finger. It followed it with all 5 eyes. I pulled my hand away, it surfaced and looked. Where did it go? I dipped it again, it nudged it again. A creature that, in legends, sank ships was playing peekaboo with me over the edge of the bathtub. Life is a strange thing. By the end of the first month, it was the size of a Labrador. It ate like a Labrador multiplied by 10. It slept in my bathtub, waited for me every morning. I started to understand this was no longer a pet. It was a member of the family. Wet, toothy, with 5 eyes, but still family. The second month began with a crash in the middle of the night. I ran into the bathroom. Its tail was hanging over the edge. Half the water was on the floor. And it looked at me like it was my fault. The bathtub was no longer enough. I had to think bigger. I started digging a pit in the yard. Maja came out and sat beside me watching. All 5 eyes followed every movement of the shovel. Then it decided to help. It nudged the ground with its nose and scattered my work in all directions. I cleaned it up. It nudged it again. We worked like that all day. When the pool was ready, I didn't even have time to step away. It jumped and the splash drenched me from head to toe. It looked at me after every time, as if checking, did you see that? Did you see? I saw. I was completely soaked and very happy for it. Its appetite grew with it. I brought fish by the crate. He could smell it from the street and would meet me at the gate, jumping. It ate straight from the crate while I was holding it. In 3 months, I spent more on its food than I did on mine the entire last year. One evening, I was sitting by the pool, scrolling through my phone. It swam up quietly, without a splash, and rested its head on my lap. Huge, heavy, soaking wet. I put my phone aside, started scratching behind its ear if it even has one. It closed all 5 eyes. We sat like that until it got dark. One day, I found its baby teeth at the bottom of the pool. I collected every single one, put them in a little box, and labeled it Maja's first teeth. The new ones grew 3 times longer and sharper. By the 4th month, it was the size of a truck. When it stepped out of the pool, the ground trembled slightly under its weight. The neighbors stopped coming over. The mailman now leaves the letters at the gate and walks away without looking back. I can't blame them. One day, it brushed the fence with its tail, and it just folded. Maja looked at the wreckage, looked at me, and lowered its head with such a guilty expression that I couldn't be mad at him. I had enough spare boards for 3 more fences anyway. I started teaching him control. I showed him with my hands slow, careful. One day, he lifted his head out of the water slowly, smoothly, without touching the edges or me, and froze. I clapped. He dove and then burst back out with a massive splash. I will never forget that moment. By the 5th month, his character had fully formed. Serious, fair. But one day, a stranger approached the house. Maja slowly rose from the pool. He just stood there, watching with all 5 eyes. The stranger turned around and left, very quickly. The 6th month began quietly. A normal evening, I was making dinner, he was dozing in the pool. Then he suddenly woke up. I saw it through the window. He rose, all 5 eyes wide open, and fixed his gaze strictly to the west, completely still. I went inside and turned on the TV. In the news feed, a NOAA signal is moving north. I didn't sleep that night. After midnight, a sound came from beyond the horizon, low, heavy, bloop. Maja lifted his head from the water and answered quietly, almost in a whisper. He was needed there, in the ocean. At dawn, we walked to the water together. He turned to me and lowered his head low, slowly. I placed my hand on his snout. We stayed silent. He stepped into the water. His silhouette went deeper and deeper, darkening, blurring, fading away. I stood alone on the shore. I was filming on my phone. My hands trembled a little, but I didn't leave. Then the silhouette broke free, sharp, one final blow. And the second silhouette sank deeper. The ocean began to calm. Then, from the depths, a head slowly rose. 6 wide eyes looked at me, alive. At home, I just sat down on the ground by the pool. He lay in the water beside me. We both stayed silent. I took out the little box with his baby teeth. Some things you just have to keep. I made him a medal, cardboard, crooked. He still wears it to this day. Every evening, he rests his head on my lap. And that's enough. If you ever catch something strange while fishing, don't let it go.